Hi, welcome to Algoways. So we have completed the month of October for trading. So in this video, we are going to discuss how the strategies have performed in the month of October for MCX as well as NSC. And now the third section is currency derivative segments, that is CDS as well. So in the first video, in this particular video, we will be discussing about MCX first. So let me just share what are the things which we are going to discuss. So this is the content of discussion. Uh, First of all, I'll give a brief of all the strategies which are available right now with Algoways, the complete strategy basket. Then we will go on to discuss the October month's performance. And of course, there is a lot of difference between paper trading and the live auto result. So we will see how much is that difference, why that difference is, and what are the things which we can do to reduce that difference. Then we'll discuss about the allocation metrics. People who have got substantial margin and they want to deploy a basket of strategies in crude, how the allocation shall be done and how the trading should be dynamically handled in such cases. We'll touch upon the brokerages and expenses as well, though I have done a detailed video on that earlier as well, but we'll just touch that upon in this as well. There are few things which needs to be taken care while live deployment is done. So there are few do's and don'ts. So I will touch upon that, though everything has been discussed on day-to-day basis in Telegram channel. Then there is a strategy on natural gas as well. So what are the risks associated with this and what could be the expectation? Because there are a few queries, in fact, a lot of queries about the NG strategies, and the question is why I am not doing this strategy. So we'll touch upon that. Then I'll give a brief on a new strategy, which will be a low margin strategy on energy pair. What is energy pair? We will discuss. And last but not the least, dynamic account handling on MCX basket of strategies. So we'll touch upon what is this and how Algoways can contribute in that. So let us move on the number of strategies and what they are. So I'll go on my TradeProne profile. Okay. So here we are. Let me make it a little larger. So right now I have around 5 strategies on MCX crude oil. Intraday crude oil 3, AW03, AW means Algoways, AW04, AW05. These three are the strategies which were running since August, mid-August or so. And then there is the addition of two more strategies, strategy 1 and strategy 2, which also are running from August, but they have been made public little late in October. So these are the 5 strategies right now. If I put them here, okay. So AW1 up to 5. So these strategies are not the same strategies. Every strategy has got its defined different logic for entry as well as for management of adjustment as well. And they have been designed to keep in mind, by keeping in mind that we cover the entire range during the day for crude oil without making any strategy to go in directional way, despite of heavy movements in crude nowadays. Second thing is the effort has been made to cover the entire range of time also. Time diversification also is there. So that does not mean that these are all the same strategies and only time difference is there. No, they are completely different strategies. The time difference, time diversification has been done on a specific strategy called AW103 and उसका दो और वर्जन्स है AW03A and AW03B. So these three strategies are same. The logic and the uh, adjustment management is completely same. The difference only is in entry of time. The difference has been created of 5 minutes so that the minimum number of bulk order goes to the market order execution, so that all the deployers, all the people who are deployed on these particular strategies, we can save something on the slippages. Because if we have say 100 deployments on one strategy and 100 lots order goes to the market, so the market depth will not be able to handle those 100 orders without giving a high slippages. So the point in doing one particular strategy time diversification is to have minimum number of loads going to the market and uh, avoiding the slippages. So I suggest that not more than 30-35 deployments on a strategy, beyond which we will have slippages. So to avoid the slippages, these three versions of the same strategy has been done and placed on the marketplace. Other than this, strategy 1, 2, 4, and 5 are completely with different logic than AW3. Uh, there are few strategies like AW3 is a fixed time entry strategy. It enters at 3:45. Other strategies, one of the strategy is like AW04 is fixed time entry. Rest of the three strategies are not fixed time entry. They have a minimum time to start, like AW05 will have say suppose 4 o'clock to start minimum. So it doesn't mean that it will enter at 4 o'clock. It may enter at 4:30, 4:45, or even 6 o'clock, or it may not enter also. So these are not fixed time entry strategies. They have different logic for entry. They will keep tracking the market and they will take the entry at appropriate time as per the logic defined. So that is the thing which I wanted to make clear, because when we deploy and trade does not come at a defined time, then there are a lot of queries that there is no trade has come. It means there is something wrong with the strategy. No, nothing is wrong. The only thing is that they are not bound to take entry at a fixed time. So these are the 5 strategies, and there is one more strategy AW06, which is of natural gas. We will discuss this separately. Uh, because natural gas is not easy to trade emotionally. It will definitely give profit in long term and good profit, but you may have 3 to 4 continuous counters in negative. So if somebody is able to handle that kind of uh, emotional thing in live trading, then yes, it is fine. But we will discuss this a little later. So let us move on to the performance, how each of the strategies have performed. So I have put all the data in Google Sheet as well, and I have shared the link. This is the Google Sheet, and the link is available in Telegram channel, as well as I will share it in this particular video's description. So the same thing I have populated here in the independent Excel sheet. So this is how it is. I hope it is visible. So actually, for daily updating purpose, I was doing only strategy 3, 4, and 5 initially in the October, but strategy 1 and 2 also were getting traded, but their daily data has not been updated in Excel in Google Sheet. So I have put the consolidated data for these particular two strategies. So if we see strategy AW01, and let me tell you at the same time what time does it start. So AW01 starts at around 5 o'clock, 5:02. Okay. And if it is the full day trading, and suppose we have a first session off and only second session runs, which starts at 5 o'clock, then it will enter at 18:02, that is 6:02 p.m. So it has given a paper trade profit of 52,100. Let me just share the equity curve as well. So this is the equity curve AW01. Of course, margin requirement for each and every strategy is 5.5 lakhs. It may differ from broker to broker. Some broker charges even more than this. Some brokers charges drastically lower than this as well. So you need to check the margin depending upon the broker you are using. So this is not a figure which should be taken granted. It is dependent upon the broker, but on an average 550 should be okay, barring one or two broker. So this is the equity curve of this strategy. If you see here, October has given 52,100 rupees, but that is on paper trading. Will this be the same in live auto trading? The answer is no. There is huge slippages because of liquidity and because of the what do you call volatility, depending upon what time of the day order is getting entered. If you see here, drawdown also has been almost 0%, 2.4K during the entire month of October and November, and Sharpe ratio is quite high. But we should not trust these paper trade results at all. Okay. For the comparison purpose, I am putting on daily basis the paper trade as well as the live result as also. So we can compare how much we are getting. So if we see in case of strategy 1, we got 24,000 as net realized profit in our account in live trading, vis-a-vis the 52,000 rupees profit in paper trade. So what matters to us is 24,000, which also is good, and that is almost 50% slippage, after 50% slippage. But we should not care whether we should not focus that we are having 50% slippage. You should think that we are getting 24,000, which is good enough. If that is not good enough, then yes, fine. Slippage is not making it viable for you. Now, strategy 2 has given around same results, 50,000, but it is slightly better in terms of net result, 26,000. So 52% is the live auto result of paper trading in this case, which also is good, around 4.82% live auto result. Coming to strategy 3, it gave 64,000. Let me just share. This is strategy 3. And you see the equity curve is almost a 45-degree straight line. It has given 64,000 in October on paper trade. Again, this does not matter to us. What matters to us is what we gained in our account, which is 32,680, which is around 6% of the deployed margin. So we should not bother that we could have got 64,500. No, we would have never got 64,500, at least in MCX in India as of now. Later we cannot say, the options may become more liquid, lot of other interest volumes can come. Then of course we can target something near to 64,000. But in month of October we gained 32,680 as a live auto result, which is 6%, and it's pretty good. Strategy 4, actually this is the strategy which I like the most, because it has some dynamic entry conditions. Okay, and it manages the trade very well, better than 3. So this strategy has given 51,800, and live auto result is 31,000, so around 60% of the PT. Strategy 5 has given 39,000 and 21,000, which is 54,000 of the PT result. It's again around 4%. So if we see on total 5 strategies, we have gained around 2.55 lakhs on PT, which is of no use to us, but we have got 135,845 as live auto profit, which is totally useful to us. It comes to our account after brokerage and expenses, so which is 5%. So why this 5% I am saying is big return? Because we are not using this, we are not doing crude trading during the entire day. We are doing it only after 3:30, when our margin, which is our primary trading in NST, that margin becomes free. If you are not doing crude trading, in that case, our margin which becomes free at 3:30 is useless till next day 9:15 morning. Okay, so we are using the idle margin, and earning 5% is a huge return for me, and it should be for everybody as well. Okay, now there's a question that are we getting this 135, 845 as uh, live as the net return in our account? The answer is no, because we of course will have brokerage and expenses. Uh, Now this brokerage and expenses are different for different weeks of the month. I have done a detailed video for this on explaining on how the per profit as well as expenses vary from week to week during expiry. But just to give an idea, we will have around on an average around 160 to 170 rupees per counter as the brokerage plus expenses. It will be more in the uh, first 2 weeks for the new expiry, and the last 2 weeks it will be less because we have less premiums, so less taxes and all. So in the first week or second week we may have around 300 rupees per counter as expenses, but in the last week just before the expiry we will have 80-90 rupees also. So on average let us take 150-160 rupees as an average per counter, and the number of counters could be 1 2. It will be mostly 1 in first 2 week, it will be around 2 in the third week, and in fourth week on some days we may get 3 counters as well. So let us take around 1.5 to 2 counters. So 2 counters per day into 150 is 300 rupees. So let me put it average expenses per counter. Let's take 150 rupees or 160 rupees. Average counters per month. I said 2. So we take 2 counters per day into, let us take 20 days. So 40 counters. So total expenses will be 40 counters into 160 rupees, which is 6,400 rupees for one strategy. For 5 strategies, it will be 6,400 into 5. 32,000, but it will be much less than this because all the strategies will not have 2 counters per day, average counters to 2 counters per day for the month. So it will be around, as per my experience, not more than say 25,000. In my personal deployment in October, it has been for 9 deployments. The expenses would has been around 38,000. So 38,000 divided by 9. So around 4,200 rupees per deployment we are having the expenses instead of 6,400 in practically. So around 4,000 rupees per deployment we will have the expenses. So if we see here, out of 135, even if we shed around 32,000 rupees, still we are at 4% return, net return in the month, which is very good. Okay, so this is about the profitability and how the strategies have performed during the month. So let me move on. What is the next content? Allocation metrics. See, when somebody does one deployment, okay, so it becomes very important which one he should do. And when somebody is deploying, say, suppose 50 lakhs or 100 lakhs, then how the deployments shall be prioritized. So I have given this particular allocation matrix in my uh, Telegram channel as well. So let me just explain it here. So this is the allocation matrix. Second. This is the allocation matrix. So if somebody can deploy only one strategy, 1x, he should deploy strategy AW04 as per me. Okay. And then I have mentioned with for 12 lakhs, 18 lakhs, 24 lakhs, up to 50 lakhs, how the deployment should be. So suppose somebody has got 18 lakhs. So he should deploy AW02, AW03A, AW04. Suppose somebody has got 50 lakhs, 48 lakhs to be precise. So he should deploy all these 7 strategies of MCX, and then I say that he can deploy 1x of NG, because that is the kind of emotional drains NG brings in trading, that we should not deploy it as our first or second deployment. It should be our last deployment, and that too after understanding that a person can take the risk. So this is how the deployment should be done as per me, and it has been done by me for several accounts which I am managing, and the results have been wonderful. They have been little better than what we have just discussed. So though anybody has a liberty to deploy whatever he feels like after certain number of trading days, he is also able to decide what suits him. But this is my recommendation, and we should go by this. Okay, brokerage and expenses, I have just discussed how it is, and I will give the link of the video in which I have detailed it, so you can watch that video as well. Do's and don'ts for the live deployment. Now, this is a very big question, and the new deployer specifically have issues on that, and there are messages in the Telegram channel asking some very basic questions again and again. So first thing first, let me tell, I have given all the live auto shared codes of all the deployments of mine, all the 5 strategies of MCX, and NG I am not doing. I have explained that why I am not doing. So all the 5 strategies live auto access is there. So if somebody is new and he is looking for deployment, he can very well check the shared code for few days. The shared codes are available in the Telegram channel of mine in the pinned message. You can check that. Now coming back to do's and don'ts, see, there is a tendency when, say, suppose AW03, it starts at 3:45. 3:45 p.m. Now, on certain days, specifically when it is a new expiry day or expiry day when we change the contract to next month, or on some day like when holiday is there for the first session and we are doing trading on the second session only, then there is a time change in the strategy. Instead of 3:45, we may start it at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So there is, because many of us are compulsive traders, they feel that we should have trade immediately after, as soon as the NSC closes, which is a bad practice, very bad practice. One day I'm telling my experience, one day I had changed the time of this strategy to 5 o'clock, and there were plenty of messages in the Telegram channel that why the trade has not executed, it has not taken trade at 3:45. So this compulsive trading and seeing the trades on the screen is not good habit. So this should be avoided, because if any changes is being done by the strategy maker, he must be doing it based on his experience. If you respect his experience, and to get the maximum out of the strategy for everyone, for himself as well as for the associates. So this thing should be avoided. Even if there is minor changes in entry time on a specific day, that should be respected and we should go by that. That is one thing we should not worry about. So first thing is entry time. Should not be any panic on this. Number two, when a trade exits, there is a cooling period of half an hour, which I have given in all the strategies. And there is a specific logic behind that half an hour. Why it is not 15 minutes? Why not 2 minutes? Why not 1 hour? I have discussed and explained this in one of my previous videos. Please check that because it's a lengthy topic. Also, I think it has been discussed in Telegram channel as well. So there is a specific reason for that, because the premium behavior of crude is like that. So there is a tendency that they should immediately start within, as soon as the exit has happened. People feel that they should start the strategy, reactivate the strategy immediately again. Otherwise, they will miss premiums, they will miss profits. This has been happening despite me telling that please don't touch the deployments, don't reactivate manually, allow them to activate themselves as and when it happens. So second thing is reactivation, manual reactivation, which is good, not good. That should be avoided. Okay. The market is not going anywhere. That half an hour, which is a cooling period, will definitely save you something. That much I can say with experience. Other than this, there is a tendency of archiving the strategy. Archiving is not a crime at all. But in this particular case, because of the specific reason of making duplicate copy of the strategy, and that is done for the purpose of having the roughly equal number of deployments on each strategy to avoid the slippages, it is not good to archive. I will tell you how this is not good. Like suppose on AW03, these are three versions: AW03, AW03A, AW03B. Now suppose people deployed are 30, 28, 32. That's what the number I have indicated. Now what will happen, like after market close, if suppose some of the people who have subscribed to A0, AW03, suppose 8 people archive the strategy. So 8 people archived. 8 people. Now the live deployment which will be seen here will be 22. And when now the new deployer comes, he will see, because he can see how much is the live deployment. And as per my advice, he will see, okay, at 3, we have 22 deployments only. So we should deploy on this because the deployments are less and the slippage will be less. So he will deploy as a new deployer or somebody else will deploy. Now, next day after NSC, those 8 people who have archived this and they have already subscribed this, they will simply go and deploy the strategy again. So this becomes 30 plus the new people who came thinking that it has 22 deployments will also deploy suppose 10 deployments. So automatically the strategy goes to 40 deployments. So this strategy goes to 40 deployments. This remains on 28 or maybe less, or this remains at 20. So it creates the imbalance between the number of loads going to the market. Now people who are on AW03 will have slippages definitely. If these people would have not archived, the new people would have seen this as 30 deployments only and they would have gone to 28 or some other strategy. So in that case, everybody benefits. So this archiving practice is not okay. It is, I'm not saying that you should not archive because of any reason, but this is the only reason, logical reason. I don't think there is anything else which needs to be taken care. Anyway, we are discussing. People have been very cooperative among each other in the Telegram channel to clarify the doubts and all. So these are the things which we should avoid and not do when we are in live deployment. So next is NG strategy, risk and expectations. See, I'll show you the NG strategy paper trade. And we will be astonished to see this. You can see in October, it has done 114K, 1,15,000 ruपया on one lot, on 4 lakhs amount. That is 28% return on paper trade. So this becomes very lucrative for the people who see the paper trade results. And there is an inclination, tendency to have a deployment or to that itching will be there to deploy such strategy. But I will not suggest, because I have tried this strategy in live auto and it normally happens that slippage is quite high in uh, natural gas. I have run it for most part of the October despite the stop loss hittings, slippages happening. And out of 114K, the real auto result was 28,000 only, which is almost one fourth of the paper trade. So when such kind of things are there, that we have a lot of slippages, lot of running, a lot of continuous loss counters, it becomes very difficult emotionally to trade such a strategy. But yes, if somebody has got a mindset that okay, he can take a drawdown of, say, suppose 15-20K ka drawdown he can take, and he can just put it and allow it to run, it will be profitable at the end of the month. So we have to see what mindset, what kind of emotional level we have while trading. And if we can afford, okay, fine, if 15,000 rupees DD I can take, then he can just deploy it and don't do the screen watch. The other point I forgot here was screen watch also. The screen watch, why, how the screen watch makes you to do some manual trading, manual adjustment or manual intervention. See, MCX is quite a long time, from 3 o'clock, 3:30 to 11 o'clock we are trading, so around 8 hours. And that is the time when we all are exhausted from our NSC trading. And there is family to look after, there is our businesses to look after, there is our office to look after. And if we start doing screen watching after 3:30 as well, then it is very detrimental for us, everybody. It affects our work, it affects our family life, it affects everything. And we don't gain anything, because crude strategy, crude PNL changes are not as sharp as in NSC. If you start doing screen watching from 3:30 to 6 o'clock, you may have plus 200 or minus 400. That's all. So we should only ensure that there is no errors, and we should not do the screen watching. It consumes your lot of quality time, which you could have given to your family, or could have given to your alternate business, or you could have simply enjoyed watching TV or doing some other thing. So this screen watching, for me, I suggest it many times, is very detrimental for all of us, especially in MCX trading. We should avoid, I'll again emphasize, we should, the if one point I will say out of these 4 points, don't in don'ts, that is screen watch. Don't do this screen watching, otherwise it will affect lot of things. It will affect your time with family, time with your work. Also it will affect your health also in long run. And of course, when you do the screen watching, there is a tendency that definitely we will touch upon with the manual interventions. So this should not be done. So coming back to NG strategy, it looks fantastic on paper trade, but unfortunately paper trade money does not come to our account. So I will suggest that two kind of people can deploy it. One is who can understand and assume that he may have a drawdown of 20,000 rupees easily, because if 4 or 5 trades goes in negative continuously, he will definitely have 20,000 rupees drawdown. So if he is okay with that, he should deploy it, and then don't do screen watching. Otherwise, it will be very painful. It will be in profit in at the end of the month. I am not doing it because I cannot concentrate on this, and it doesn't fit my emotional data of trading at all as of now. Okay, and the second, people who have, like, suppose large amounts. Say suppose somebody has deployed one crore in MCX. So if he has deployed 90 lakhs in MCX crude, he can definitely put 10 lakhs in an NG, because it will not affect his overall drawdown on 1 crore as much as it will affect for the people who are doing single deployments. So if somebody is having 10, 15 lakhs and he wants to do it as his first deployment or second deployment in MCX, I will completely suggest that you should not do it. It will not be beneficial mentally and financially both. So that is my recommendation. I have removed this from Market Watch. If somebody wants to take the link, I can give it privately. There are few people who are trading it, but they fall in the first category, wherein they accept that there could be a drawdown of 20K and they had been profitable as well. Okay, I am doing, the next point is a new strategy which is a MCX energy pair. What is that? See, in MCX, in CDS, I am doing a strategy on AW125, that is GBP INR and USD INR pair trading. This is a very unique concept which I am doing since 2008 manually. Okay, and I tried this earlier also in MCX in futures, but because futures move were quite high, and the problem was that during that 2008 to 10, crude used to be at say 8,000, and NG used to be between 100 and 200, say suppose 150 rupees. Lot size were same, 100 and 1250. So this contract used to be 8 lakhs value, and this used to be 1.87 lakhs, which is very imbalanced. So pair trading between these two were not possible at that point of time, because the movement of NG were not there at all. It used to move hardly 1 or 2 points during the entire day, and then the value of contract of NG was very less compared to crude contract. And now, since we have options also available in NG and crude, so what we can do now, I have already made the strategy and running it on paper trade with me. We will see for some more time, a week or so, before I give it for the deployment, because I don't want to give anything which is half cooked. Half cooked is always bad. So now if we do, like, if you take the premium, we do it on option now. If you take the premium, say average premium of say 250 or monthly, and NG ka average premium take 40 rupees, 30 rupees, 40 rupees it starts actually. So now we have the contract value, if we are talking about buying 25,000 and 37,500, which is reasonably okay. So what my plan is that we will trade this energy pair through option buying, not selling. Option buying with the stop loss, a combined stop loss of say 5,000 to 6,000 rupees per day. We cannot have stop loss less than this in MCX, because you know how the movements are. So the total contract value will be roughly 62,000. So we'll keep 1 lakh margin for this, take care of the drawdown, daily losses and profit and all. And with 1 lakh, we will do this strategy. With what will happen in this strategy, that if crude is bullish, crude will be long by buying CE, and at the same times, other script which is NG will be short by buying PE. So it will be always one CE buy, one PE buy, depending upon which script it has to be as per the logic of the strategy. Okay, so the margin requirement will be 1 lakh. And one more thing we can do in this strategy, what I have done is that we will not send the market order in this, so slippage will be less. We will set the limit order at LTP, and it will wait. If it doesn't execute, it is fine. If it is buy trade doesn't execute, it is fine. We are not going to lose anything. So this strategy, we will have something on this by the end of next week, and let us hope that we all can work together on this and make some money. The last thing is dynamic handling of MCX basket of strategies. See, what does this mean? I have given this allocation matrix though. As I told, crude movement during the day after 3:30 are such that it requires some experience and some handling of strategies, putting their mind also in terms of which strategy to deploy, which strategy to start at what time, depending upon the market move, depending upon the day. So I have been doing some around 10 accounts as of now, 50 lakhs plus, wherein I manage the strategy will not start as usual for as it is at marketplace. So I will cut in the strategies depending upon the market situation, the market movement, the crude price, and the day of the week and the premiums. So this is done to get best out of the strategies. So for the people who cannot allocate so much of their time and mind on the MCX trading, they can think of giving the account to Algoways, and you just have to give us the Tradetron account of yours, and rest of the things will be taken care on some nominal fees. That isn't much. And this has been happening for last some time, and the number of accounts have also increased now a lot. The margin also is increasing. So if somebody is interested in this service, he can contact directly on personal number uh, on WhatsApp. Let me just share that number here once again. The WhatsApp number is 93108 93958. This is the WhatsApp number I can be contacted at for this particular thing or any other query as well. We also do the customization of these strategies depending upon how much risk a person can take, how much capital he wants to deploy. Because when somebody is ramping up his capital, his expectations should go and goes down. But at the same time, his expectations also go high on having a better DD curve. Okay, so we cannot like scale the things with the same strategies, with the same logic which are kept on marketplace, but definitely it has to be customized to individuals expectations, risk appetite. So we'll have one-to-one talk on this, and then accordingly we do the things and manage the accounts. So that is all in this particular video. I'll conclude this here. If there is anything, do contact me on this particular WhatsApp number, and we can have the discussions, whether it's about the account handling or any other query about the existing strategies. So thank you very much, guys. Thanks a lot for your time. Have a nice day.